strat capability. They're very cognizant of it. When you have someone like Gob, it's hard to ignore what he brings to a roster. A bit of a kingmaker at times. He can certainly work with these younger players. But on the flip side, Vitality, it's hard to look past their shoot up in capability as of late. So again, I think for me, this is almost to sit back and watch. I wish I was almost in chat to just to sit here and kind of get a grasp of how this game goes down, because it looks like we're about to get underway.
I'm with you there. We will be here to carry you through. And I mean, I know Tom and Mitch are going to be as big starting on the attacking side. They it was interesting to see the lack of variation, and when they did deter away from A, just I guess how much they struggled. So that's something I'm definitely going to have my eye on, at least here at the start. As a little poke comes out towards elbow here, and Sender and Shadow there to greet it on the other side. Trade off for utility initially, but no damage exchanged.
No, more fun and games, and again, for Big, I just want to see how these new players kind of gel together, what they look like as a collective, and the site's going to be theirs. It's just going to be that wrap around the back that's going to be the big
Sender finds
point to keep your eye on. Exactly, and Sender's already cracked it open, so Big are starting to feel that squeeze very early at this point, but a quick trade out will at least potentially facilitate that spike plant, but it looks like Vitality want to deny that by getting a little aggressive.
Yeah, actually, Obnox going to find 2 headshots. Scatter and Vac will fall. Actually, Obnox will find a third as well for good measure. Just one left to find. Sender will fall, and initially a good response there from Vitality. Like you had to get ahead of the curve, right? To prevent them, I guess, getting full control. I think that's on the back of Casper finding that kill in the lurk. Honestly, that's the catalyst, the green light for them to push on through. But Big hold strong there.
But I also want to highlight the kind of freeze that Big did, kind of hitting the brakes for a second as well, because they'd kind of taken over that elbow control. Exactly. I was getting a bit worried they hadn't got that spike down, but you saw that kind of patience coming in, seeming to just hit the brakes, see if they could punish and over-aggress and over-push, and they managed to pick up a fair few. So, nice start for Big, going to come out forward. And again, name of the game, right? Nice and simple. We don't need to overcook anything here. Feel out the stack if they can for Big. And you can see there's 3 players raring to go over towards that A site. So, let's see what they can get out of this. Already Aslan doing well from Brams. And Aslan again, finding a couple more.
Essentially, I mean, it's 2 out of 3 here on A site. It's still just a slow in approach. I guess one more player to deal with here, but Sender does make his way over. Spike should be fairly comfortably planted. How deep they push it. Like you said, aim of the game, keep it clean. Twistin will find another one. Sender. His days are numbered right now. Is chased down. Just one left to find for Big now.
I think, again, this is when we talk about, and you know what? You love getting a Godby interview, right? This guy will give you the lines you want to talk about, and it's the fundamentals. This sort of round where we talk about 5 alive, keeping everything clean, feeling out the stack, playing, you know, that cerebral game, and it seems almost silly to have to say it, right? Because of course you want to keep it clean, but they play to that tune, right? And when you've got someone in the server like Godby, you pay attention to it, right? And there's something about, you know, these young guns coming in, you've got to be able to respect that IGL. We see it a lot in, I hate saying North America like it's a bad thing, right? But when people have, like, coaches coming in, it's like, well, how can I impact these players? How can I make them listen to me and respect my opinion in this? And again, it's a bit of a constant issue, but when you have someone like Godby who's a pillar, right? He comes with authority to it. That's where it can change. But speaking of change, Vitality now have a fair amount of fundage, right? They've got rifles galore. A little bit of light armor, but this should be the turn, right? If there's anything up the sleeve for the bonus, I'll be impressed. And it's not a completely worthless purchase. Casper looking a little bit well equipped.
Got B as well.
Yeah, so rifles are out. This isn't without a little bit of bite to it.
The Seeker's available as well for Big. See that invested early on here, but if they've already got a decent amount of information, or at least positionally, Shadow and Sender are. Upper wall goes up, but nobody from Big pushed in yet. I think they're just waiting for an open here. Aslan actually going to be enabled here with the Vandal in hand. Actually, Sender. Great swing on the back of that contact.
That's a nasty swing, but okay, the Spectre on the trade. Any damage here is going to make a little bit of the money be drawn away from Vitality, but again, we still have the 2 rifles in hand. They have not been left, they've not been able to be policed away. They'll be looking to try and maybe facilitate a trade or something, but you can see Vitality really digging their heels in. They don't want to give any more of these away. very, very smart. And considering they've got the spike in such a precarious spot, they can just keep that locked down.
30 seconds left.
I think this gets problematic, and there's a wrap on the way as well.
So Kada actually out of audio range, so he was able to jump over that trap. So I don't think Big will be aware of just how deep he is. Obnox again going to explore. We'll find back straight up. A Shadow finds a second, and Casper has one to deal with now. He was a little bit disconnected here on this lurk. Didn't find value early on this time around. 5 seconds left. Well, you can find another kill, but already ticking the box. 3 kills for Big here. Yes, they will concede the round, but good damage done, removing a couple of the weapons. They're in Shadow, though, again, undamaged, so they will be able to hold on to their shields. Again, forcing those repurchases and holding on to one rifle. That's not a massive loss for Big.
No, and let's talk about the warm-up here of Obnox. This guy is already coming in hot as well. If you're starting to feel out the game early, and look, if Kukuka and Yinzu are on the money, saying he's a pretty underrated player, maybe someone to look out for, if we're going to see that little sky pop off, I'm all aboard. But on the other side, I do think it's good that Vitality were at least able to convert the round, because it did get a little dicey at moments. It got a little sketchy. So, again, for them, they get to come back in. Back the only one really having to suffer the repercussions of the prior.
Casper, actually, I don't know if that was noted there, but that's a little jump peak to at least to spot out the push through tube here, and a little bit of a further lean away from B site itself here. The wall will go up. 2 traps to deal with, almost anti-jet traps here.
Oh, but I like this almost like retake posture instantly from Vitality. Actually, a little bit of a slow creep back in from Sender. But again, they were sat so deep initially towards kind of like connector, I guess, window. Maybe this is where I want to look into it, and I wish I'd been able to kind of pay more mind to it. I'm just simply not built that way. Games of how they like to feel this out, and it looks like, yeah, that's a great read from Kada. Already going to try and control fall away, and read managed.
Great read from Kada, but Casper did note that at the start of the round, so it's a risk coming up on the rope once again. It's actually going to pull the rotation for Vitality here. You can see already Sender has pushed through, confirmed a lack of presence outside B. Twiston will actually find an opener here, so still achievable for Big.
It is, but Brams is just going to be on buying time duty, and that's not how you do it. Twiston's going to remove him, and now suddenly the site looks accessible. Spike going to be a little troublesome to go down, but Obnox, that is beautiful work from him. Shadow tries to slip through, but there's Obnox. We said it. This guy pops off. He starts feeling out that game early. Maybe he's the player they need. And the 3 down from Big, and in some fashion, I thought Vitality had that round. Quite genuinely, the kind of retake of space towards that B site, the play up tube, all the early indicators looked favourable, right?
Exactly. You look at the minimap around 10 seconds ahead of that plant, or at least that hit coming through. And Vitality, like I said, they've got all the information necessary. Look at where everybody's positioned here, and I don't know if the solution here is for Vitality to sit a little deeper, just wait it out a little longer, but Sender had pushed out into elbow on B there, so the information was all in Vitality's favor. And with Casper falling effectively at the top of tube, they almost have the upper hand ahead of that A hit. Really, really impressive stuff from Big.
Oh, now this is the bit of a knock-on, right? Look at the state of the money already from Vitality. Sheriff's out. A couple of... who's got the armor on this one? Brams and back. Okay, so there's a little bit more to them, but it's not much. As Big, I want to see this consideration, because mid's already been taken. Vitality have pushed down. They've got the information. They're going to go for the stack out on this. So Big needs to be very aware that there's going to be maybe 2, 3, make it now 5 players behind this wall. Twiston, let's see how sharp you are today. That's going to be 1. The follow-up, not good enough. Shadow, a punish. Big now fully aware, and got B doing his aim training mid-game. So comfy stuff from Big in the end. Looked a little scary, but kept in check.
Interesting. One of the things I was looking forward to with starting off with Breeze was just how much of a, I guess, conditioning factor there was from Big in the previous matchup with how much the focus of the, I guess, they prioritized on their attack to go towards A. Here it's seeming, I mean, there's not an awful lot of difference here. Vitality getting much better early reads in terms of these round. That previous round, obviously, the economy, the equipment could be a factor, but Vitality looking a little... I guess more eager to confirm that, right? Is to really go out and seek that information. I guess on the flip side of that is how much Big now show us some variation. Again, whether that's addressing mid, addressing tube, or really just showing presence towards B. Twiston actually going to try and get some tube control. Kada actually not in this round in particular, but Viper Wall invested already. a good indicator for Vitality to at least hold 3 members here.
You've had players in the right place in the past, and they've struggled to actually deny the hit, and it looks like it's starting already. Back code, just about walked through the wall. Seen nothing early, but now here comes the hit. There goes the on backspin, somewhat unchecked. Oh, he's made a bit of a meal of it. Still gets away with 2. How's he done that? But in the meantime, Big Dig, it did get 2 of their own. So it's a 3v3. Where's that spike for now? Yet to be planted. There's still Shadow lingering around. Bram's still by the box. This is still issues for Big. Not be falling back from this. I think they're going to have to cut their losses for now and see if they can maybe reset the pace, but only 35 seconds, Hypok.
Bram's down to 30 HP as well, so very squishy. I was playing for info here
left.
at the entry point. They're blocking each other. They actually passed each other.
Oh, this is horrific. Brams just gets a little lost in the sauce, and now it's a 2v2. 20 seconds now. It is all on Twiston. 1v2. Whoa, he's got 1! Does he predict the second? He's got 13 seconds to play with. He has the spike. How does he want to do this? He wants that fight! He gets it, but it goes all astray as Shadow, the man on the back lines, kept calm in that, kept collected as that looked like it was falling to pieces, if I'm honest.
And Tristan really been a highlight of their performances recently. I mean, that previous round as well, just noting his play around Vac on that Viper wall with just predicting that flash perfectly again. A real chance to watch out that round as well, but Vitality will find their second.
This goes here.
Again, not too much damage, I guess, in terms of some one loss for Vitality. Again, everything except for the Blade Storm here
I've got your
on the cards. But send it down on the Spectre. Rams down on the Judge. That's probably a byproduct of the ultimate being invested, but Big on the back of these Seekers going to try and find something up through Dumbledoors.
Massive pace change from Obnox up towards middle. Casper as well, threading the needle through towards side. He's going to have a Scott-free kill on 1 and maybe a follow-up. It looks like Vac's all too aware. He gets caught with his pants down. Sender now put to task because it's a 3v2, and once again we're consistently seeing Big finding these approaches that really do seem to catch him off guard, as maybe the Res will try and bring him back to the feet, but Obnox again, look at this guy, it's going to be inevitable. Yeah, Twiston's right there in the back lines. Big. Now, look, can we, should we be honest here for a second or two? No? Do you think it's time?
Speak freely, by all means.
Okay, look, sometimes, back in the day, you know, we talk about the Na'Vi timing on executes, right? We hit that phrase up. Now, Big are also one of those teams who love a slow round, they love a default, they're chilling for half of the round. And look, it makes sense and it can work. However, I do love seeing them just throw in a pace change like that. Straight up middle, big crunch towards the site. The flank looked like it came in instantly. It was like, I love seeing the capability of now a bit of a maybe hit the switch, let's pick up the pace. And it completely throws Vitality into the dumpster. And for now, we've seen the money being humbled. They do have a couple of ults though, but I don't know if there's going to be the opportunity to bring them in. Let's see if they can keep this clean for Big.
Now they're going to try and find something with the Blade Storm, but Obnox will find his Sender on the way through. Obnox again! Finding a 3k back, finally puts him down. Struggling with that classic though.
Player standing.
Just a matter of time before they find his final kill. Oh, okay, Back made a pretty good attempt at it there. Finds a headshot, but no consolation. Don't start with that already. It's map 1. Don't.
Alright. Alright.
Potentially a long day, Zilv told us, so...
I mean, if Obnox keeps this up, if Big keep just, you know, displaying this, I don't know. Vitality, I don't think Vitality are out of by any means. It is a long series. It is going to be a, you know, a potentially long day. You're right. And I'll keep it together.
Should at least try for map 1, right? Oh, okay.
I'll do my best.
Leave me hanging, that's fine.
Right. Right. Let's get back into things. Wait, I'm not even ready for the round to start. What's this guy doing?
Man.
Like, can we, again, some of these players, like, they have that, oh, that's a dirty little angle, isn't it? Shadow just slips back into them, finds Aslan, at least going to even it up. But, again, I like seeing players having, like, the hot start and then it transferring throughout the game. Like, it rolls back a little bit to, let's say, Gobby's interview, and he's like, you know, we kind of brought our C game, or maybe a B game at most. If this is maybe a difference maker, but now, speaking of aggression, look at Vitality. Look at that little switch up, taking so much space. That's huge information. This should, if anything, really resound towards the players on B, but that's even better. Bram's going to find God B, and that's now the spike gone down, but the raid boss is on the way, so Obnox going to quickly get the spike and get out of dodge.
Spike being noted, I guess means Vitality can sit as they are now. Map control definitely swings in their favor, although Casper and Twistin looking to wrap through
What is this
Spawn,
round?
actually, yeah.
Who's on the defending side and who's on the attack? Obnox is on an island. He just needs to live, which is now getting kind of scary because they pushed out. I actually quite like that from Vitality. High risk, high reward, I guess. And bigger just behind enemy lines. Now, there's a bit of a time limit. As you can see, Twistin trying to do anything he can, but I think he knows and they know this round is all but done. But aggression being thrown in late round on the defensive side. Maybe a little bit of an antidote.
What?
Just snapping his wrist.
No way, man.
Yo, let's go. Give me another. Give me one more. One more. Yeah.
Walk it back.
Slowly pick.
No!
Oh.
What the hell was that first shot?
Ah, man.
I mean, I almost want to see the second as well, but that first flick was disgusting from Twistin. What?
Damn.
10 seconds left.
Okay. It's quite nice. Right? That's very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then he's literally just 0.2 of a second off getting a third as well, which would have been would have been nice.
In the
Close out
of
the
his
clip,
life
right?
as well. Yeah. Get it for the montage, but just hide the scoreline as the time runs out, and just make it seem more impactful. For Vitality though, maybe a well-needed lifeline, and in some fashion to do it as well. Late round aggression, hard to, I guess,
tagged. My camera is destroyed.
do again and again, just because teams like Big are happy to hold a default till the very last second if they have to. But it's good to show that Vitality were able to kind of thread the needle on that, right? They were able to find a bit of a gap to play with there.
I think in a couple of these rounds where, again, they're looking to explore, they're looking to kind of counter some of this early map control that Big are able to achieve with a seemingly very deep default. Like you said, they're very, very keen to almost get a feel for the setup ahead of some of these site hits, but they're punished this time around. Sender overstepping the mark slightly there, and Twistin punishes. Seeker's popped here, the drone will come through, and decent access towards A here. Canada will actually find Aslan though. Doesn't seem to slow things down. The Viper's bit invested as well.
Yeah, starting to see those ults really come through. Twistin being the tip of the spear, and he actually wants some more. That's a little brave, but there was the follow-up. A good trade comes out for Casper.
30 seconds
The not
left.
so friendly Ghost at that point. Spike gonna go down a 3v2 advantage, sitting towards Big.
Spike planted.
As Kadavra and Vac. He's going to slip towards the site, little on-hand flash, but no one there to find much on the other side. But it looks like Vac should at least note where Obnox is, but just knowing where he is one thing, trying to take him down is another, as he actually does win that fight against Vac, leaving just Kada. And 1v2. Time now becoming an opponent as well. Spacing here. Flash actually going to give... Oh, no. Obnox is just a movable object, right? This guy just seems to be right place, right time, and he's getting everything favorable towards him, and already the scoreline's looking pretty good.
It's interesting to know, I think from the initial plan there, unless Sender gives away that first blood, because I feel like that was a missed smoke in mid. We saw it just at the start of that round, the smoke was invested. You guys can see it on the minimap here, just outside elbow. I don't know if that is kind of just they completely changed the plan there, or on the back of that aggression outside A is why they decide to settle for that. So it's interesting to see whether or not that was Big trying to address some mid control, and it was kind of an audible halfway through that before it even gets started, really.
Camera hit cage triggered.
Then though, Kada exploring.
Yeah.
Gets attacked.
I like that they're still trying to address middle a little bit. Maybe this is something they're trying to keep in mind. But Vitality, I'm surprised there hasn't been an attack timeout maybe called yet. I guess it's a best of 5, so it is going to be a long day, and maybe they don't feel that worried about it yet. 9-3 doesn't seem to be a problem. We saw that in...
It wasn't last time, right? I was going to say, yeah.
Exactly.
It still came out with the overtime win, so I guess they're not sweating just yet. And Big did look comfortable on their attack.
Here.
Again, here, Rams tries to swing ahead of the wall. Sam will punish. Nobody else here. Vitality, Obnox actually in a position to greet Shadow and Sender. Actually, no, the extra, he's actually way back in spawn, but second layer of that will be Kada, first of all. No problems there. Obnox. I was going to say, if he turns and finds that one, Shadow good with the headshot, though.
Just GG it out, boys. GG go next. But for now, back in Shadow. I just got to face the music here, aren't we? Yeah, got to be clearing. And again, Shadow just going to peel away. Got himself a rifle, but these are small benefits to the overall problem, and it looks like he probably won't be able to keep it either. Gobby's there on the other side. Gobby wins it. So again, big performance. I don't want to overread into this because we know what happened last time, right?
Well,
On both sides.
Yeah,
but again, this is very impressive, though.
This isn't a huge surprise in terms of what we saw there. Again, the expectation would be if Vitality can replicate the same performance on their attacking side. And actually the only difference being, you know, big starting here on attack. Obviously, last time they were mounting that comeback. So yeah, you're right. Not too surprising, really, if we take the last matchup with a pinch of salt. But Vitality definitely need to get off on the right foot in the second half. I think actually last time they started off their attacking round with 4 rounds in succession. So that'd be what you'd be looking for here.
Yeah, that would be a remedy. And this could be certainly something to look out. Kata's in a bit of trouble now. Has to back away. Does at least do some good early damage. He actually makes it out. That's quite impressive. As Aslan just has to sit there like, almost at him. But still, attention being drawn on towards the other side here as Sender's well aware there's 2 players slowly encroaching. I say slowly. It is our main man, Oddnox, who's been an absolute force. Does I get one this time as Shadow's still the backbone, trying to hold on to that B site. And the last 2 players a mile apart, and not much hitting for them right now.
No way, Goffrey's actually going to try and ult him out of the turret that he droned there, sorry. Let's get the first tag though, so we'll cancel it. Operator in hand. Actually throwing Brams there to punish through, and Aslan will find one as well. It comes to a 2v2.
It's getting throwy. What? It's getting very throwy! And Gobby is absolutely battering them. Oh dear. This could be that first nail placed in a coffin on this map. Unless Kata can save it. And that is not looking likely. Oh, dearie
Just when you think they might get an 8-4 there. Just when they might.
4v2? 4v2, got B
4v2.
on the op. Not known for the opping capabilities. Oh dear. That's a tilter.
Yeah.
And you know that Big are grinning. You know that there's that big old smile on their faces. They know that they weren't meant to get that round. That was an absolute throw from Vitality there. Just over-peaking, overzealous, giving opportunities to these ops. Eesh.
I think the game plan there is to isolate that 1 kill on B after, obviously, Aslan is noted, completely disconnected from God B, but it just, the kill onto Brams, I want to see how that occurred, because it seemed that he was just drifting out of window, maybe just caught off guard with an angle he wasn't expecting, but you can't help but feel they sit a little deeper there and wait for Big to slip up, right? It is
4v2.
Yeah, a fumble.
It's very hard if you're the 2 players to win a 4v2 rather than if you're the 4 and you lose a 4v2. It's so tricky. Regardless, we go into the second half, the 93, and Vitality needing a bit of a performance here, and that could be a start to it. Gonna put body on the line.
Spike planted.
Big instantly gonna have to work their way back through. But 4 HP for Vac.
I was gonna say, yeah. 35 on Brams, 56 on Sender, so definitely doable here. Casper will find Sender as well, so it brings it to a 3v3.
Scanning ahead.
Shadow, got to be the playmaker here with that stack of HP. No way Casper's expecting that. What?
What is the cerebral play from some of these players? Great damage coming in, Shadow. It's all on you. It's all in your hands.
No way.
There was nothing left in the mag. Diffuse comes in, and I said it, that first nail was placed. This could be the hammer as 10 is going to be on the board.
I mean, I'd have to watch that back to see how many players are noted on A side, but the fact that Casper finds that kill on Sender and then is still expecting just the re-aggress, or I guess actually one member of Vitality looking to address the flank once again, or at least come round.
Yep.
I mean, they have to make something happen there, so Vac, I guess there is forced to make a decision. A fight from Cave with a classic. I think he actually threw the... Yeah, it was light armor and a classic there. As you can see, down to 4 HP. But the fact that Casper reads that, or is at least aware of the possibility, is insane. Absolutely insane.
Right. Vitality is wake-up time. Alarms ringing. Kettle's on. Let's have a bit of game out of you, because this is not the start I want to be seeing. I see a little bit more fight in them. As Big will take every opportunity they're given, of course.
Here.
Just giving Aslan a bit of a haircut, but nothing mortal to be worried about. Already see there's interest being... Oh no, that's not going to work out for you, is it?
Set up perfect though for God B to how to swing on that. Aware of the possibility Brams has got to little deeper within tube. We'll spot him out, but an over peak in this scenario. Twisting back to stairs now. The other 3 members of Vitality stacked up towards Cable, so they might try and move in behind this Viper wall here. Okay.
Spike
Unlucky
planted.
Vac. NT.
Next round. It just feels like Big's getting everything they need. Vitality are getting no room, and I was watching them play, and I mean, Sender was quite impressive to watch. Looked, very individually, talented. And now we're seeing, that Shallow's in a world of danger. Flashed away, forced away. Big 4 alive. Fuse comes in. 11 to be found in Vitality. We need a spark here. We need something to wake them up, because as much as, yes, we all know the 9-3 curse, it looks like this is about to be broken if it goes on like this.
Interesting, really. What's again, not in terms of ultimates, nothing really to lean back on the way these first 2 rounds have gone, and with the purchase, or at least the investment there, they can muster together. Guardian, Spectre, Sheriff, not an awful lot, and again, this round you look towards the Blade Storm, not available here for Kada. Vitality really have to make something from nothing. I mean, the only benefit being that Big have held on to some of those weapons from the previous round as well, so it's almost a couple of even engagements here in terms of head-to-heads.
Camera.
Tight hit, full set piece coming in, but Casper so prepared for this as well. Kada's just isolated and removed the tip of the spear, now looking blunt. Quick swing from Obnox as well, making light work of that. Big are just so robust in this, and again, they still can't remove Casper. Sitting like a statue on top. Not so fast to Sender. Maybe looking for that late lurk. Looking real lonely now as Aslan takes him out, and it's 12 now. This is, if this is, let's say, the A game from Big, right? Let's say this is the A game. This is genuinely a dangerous team. Genuinely very dangerous.
I was so interested was, well, Casper obviously setting up completely to counter Kada, basically. Not necessarily Kada, just to counter Jet play, right? But he's unnoted for so long. I'm not sure if it's the chaos of that execution or when contact is taken, but you see Brams just desperately looking. He's like, he's not behind first pillar, guys. So I don't know what you're calling out. He's not behind first pillar. And he finds another kill from there.
Yep. It's such a beautiful Valorant to watch from Big, I've got to say. And I've got to say, for me, Vitality on looking... Why you gotta do him like that, Mike? Why you gotta do it like that?
It's nice to be able to finally say it, right?
It genuinely is, because you're seeing a lot of the theory kind of then with the polish of the individual power, right? You've got all that beautiful theory crafting coming out from the brain, which would be God B, and now you've got the Swarm with Obnox, it looks like, or whomever else stands up at the time. Aslan this time fancies a moment in the spotlight as already Vitality being just chipped away at. This is not kicking and screaming on the way down. This is just a meek performance from them. I really hope there's more, because this was their choice. This was Vitality's map pick, and right now it's down to 2. Vac and Sender, barely 70 HP between them, leaving it all in the hands of Vac, and Casper will remove his head. There's actually Obnox to close out. That's map 1 done. 13-3.